Hello everybody and welcome back to Dana's Coloring Obsession. I hope you are all doing well and that you are hanging in there for your week. I'm doing pretty good. Here is our page in Land Under the Magnifying Glass by Rita Berman. This is our full book color along. Finally getting to this. This is a color palette that I chose from Sarah Renee Clark, number 185. And I think we're going to be using my Chromaflow pencils for some of the detailing here. I really don't have a plan, so I'm going to be kind of winging it. Our background is going to be started out anyways with my KingArt Gel sticks. These are two of the metallics that I have. Metallic dark pink GS048 and metallic light purple GS050. And then I have my Caran d'Ache palette, and I'm going to be using the rough side because how I apply my gel sticks usually is with one of those makeup one of those makeup brushes. This is one of them that I got from Temu. You can get like a pack of 12 for really super cheap. And this is the size that I usually like. Not the smallest, but not the biggest, obviously. I might get a smaller size though for in between. I'm not going to mask anything because I've already, I guess just a little bit of a disclaimer here. The black that you see here that's a little bit shiny is a Art black paint pen. I decided to do the outline of the butterfly and the back half of his body black, or her body, whichever the case may be. Anyways, yeah. So let's go ahead and do the background first. I will zoom in a little bit so that we can see better. That would be good, huh? And I'm also gonna get a smaller brush for the little areas. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. Oh, also forgive the, I'm hard on my hands. I'm gonna set this aside because it's gonna flop everywhere here. I am gonna probably use some washi on this side just so that I don't get any gel stick. I don't know if I'm gonna just go around the edge here or if I'm gonna do the whole page in the gel stick. I'll just put the washi tape on. And this is some of my cheaper stuff so that it's less sticky. I use that for the stuff that I want to come up really well. I also am going to stick it on my clothing and make it a little bit less adhesive. Again, a tip that if you put washi down and it starts to rip your page when you're bringing it back up, always heat it up with a heat gun or a hair dryer. And it's more likely to come up and not damage your paper. And I don't firmly push down my washi either. I mean, I do sort of in the crack so that it doesn't, whatever it is that I don't want on there doesn't seep onto the other page too much. But yeah, I probably should have done this ahead of time. Sorry, friends. Okay, so I did manage to find, these are some of my old ones, so they might be a little bit stained. I found this tiny one, and then I might just be using this one because it's really skinny to get into here, this area right here and here. And I don't know, I'll be using these, I have a feeling. So I'm just going to set them up here. And I'm going to take my two colors and get a whole bunch on my palette here. Again, we have metallic light purple and dark pink. And I've noticed, I love my KingArt gel sticks, but I did notice that the metallic ones are a little bit crumbly. They still work just fine, but they do, see that? They do have a bit of a crumble to them. It's not that they're drying out or anything. I'm not quite sure why. It's just whatever the makeup is that makes them a little bit different than the regular colors. Causes them to crumble a little. And it does smoosh out onto your page and doesn't, you know, you can get them off, no problem. Okay. Now I'm going to use the pink first because that's the lighter color. I might grab another one of these so that I don't mix the colors in. Okay, I am going to grab another color. So this is a whole set of metallics here. I'm going to grab the light pink and the dark purple. So I'll have light pink and light purple and dark purple. Ow, sorry for the noise. And I am going to still just use 2 brushes here because that won't matter much as long as I use the light ones first. Okay, here we go. So let's start with the dark purple. Hold on. Click, click, click. And you won't really be able to see the light pink over here, but it's there. Just drawing, having fun over here with my gel sticks, don't mind me. Okay. So starting with, well, shoot, I just told you to start with the light ones, and then I said I'm going to start with dark purple. We should start with light. So I'm going to start with the light. I'm going to start with light pink and go around the edges of our little butterfly here. So I'm going to use the skinny one and load up some color. And just, I'm winging it, you guys, just so hopefully if this turns out terrible, sorry in advance. Again, I'm not masking anything, so hopefully it turns out okay. Ooh, that's still pretty bright, even though it's light. And again, these are metallics, so I don't know how it's going to show on the camera, but it's shimmery in person. And the parts of the black, I'm kind of going over that are a little bit, you can see some of the product. I'll probably end up just going over that again with the Tule Art pen, just so that that shimmer is gone and we don't have to worry about it. But that I'll probably do very last. And the one thing about these gel sticks that I absolutely love is they move around so well, and there's never any big lines to worry about with these brushes. And I never use water. You can activate these with water. In fact, a lot of people do, but I never do. I always just do dry right off the palette like this with brushes. Like this is how I use it. And generally I do backgrounds with them. I actually haven't actually colored in any other way with them. Maybe I should do that down the road because I do have the whole set. Sorry, I'm having to do awkward angles here. I'm just using this brush and kind of painting it on really, but it moves so seamlessly that I don't have to really worry about the lines and stuff. again, any of the black that I go over, I will go over again with my KingArt so that it's nice, shiny, and black, and there's no product covering it in any way. At the end. Okay. Just making it a little darker in areas. Oh God, using the left hand. Okay, so those are the areas that I really needed to use this. I'm not going to end up, I don't think, having to use this one, but we'll see. I am going to take the regular brush now and kind of just go a little more around the edges of the wings with the light pink still. Okay, that is the light pink. Now I'm going into the dark pink. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the light purple. And a tip that I should have thought about before, but I don't use these very often, is you should probably only lay down one color at a time, not everything all here, because it starts to dry on the palette. It's still fine, but I'm having to push a little harder. And some of these chunks are giving me a little bit of trouble, which is, it's going to be fine, but yeah. Sorry, can't see. Sorry for the shaking of the camera. Okay. And then I'm going into the dark purple for the edges around here. Sorry again for the shaking of the camera. It really can't be helped very much. I'm gonna need more on my palette, I think. Yeah, let's get some more dark purple going here. Yeah, see how much easier that came up? It's because everything else dried a little bit. So a little bit of a tip there. Trying not to have a line introduced there if I can help it. And okay. Sorry. I'm just making the edges a little darker with the purple. Okay, and there is our easy peasy, beautiful little background. Let me get rid of all of this stuff because I'm not going to have room on in my area for my pencils and stuff. 2 seconds. All right, so here we are back. You know what? I haven't even decided what the heck I'm doing with this little guy. I think maybe we'll just let's do this guy first. And I'm not going to use pencils on him. He's just going to be glitter pens. So I'm going to use my new ZSCM glitter pens. And I'm going to be using pinks and purples. Well, mauves and pinks and purples and those kinds of colors. Here, if I can find them. Mauvey purple pinks. So not really pink, even though this is kind of pink, isn't it? So maybe we're going on the pink side. Lord. Okay. Let me look and see if I have more of a mauvey purple here. I've got a really dark, gosh, you can see the silver. I don't know how well the pigment's coming through on the screen, but there's a dark, almost eggplanty purple and then a lighter purple here in the ZSCMs. And then let me look. I do have mauvey colors. Yay! So here's like a deep pink / mauvey purplish pink. We're going to use that. And then a little bit of a lighter one. This is a little bit... you know what? 3 colors is fine. I think we're going to go with that. Because that's a tiny little bug. Okay, I am going to start with the darkest purple here, which is, does it have any... Okay, so they do have numbers. This one says glitter V08, and these have different numbers on them. So I'm just going to tell you the pin. And again, it's the dark one, dark purple. So let me just glitterify you. And I actually have not checked to make sure that these won't go through on a Rita Berman page. So let me put the dark purple on and then look at the back of this page to make sure it doesn't bleed through, because that would not be ideal. And I will stop using them if that is the case. Because I have not used them, since they're new to me, I have not used them on a Rita Berman page yet. And I don't know how the paper will feel about them. And the verdict is out. Nope, it's okay. Uh-oh, look what I did there. That's gel stick. That's okay. That's okay. We can do something else with that. Okay, so if they're fine, they will not go through. All right, so here's my little bit of a lighter purple. Sorry if you could hear my son start up his monster of a truck. And then the mauve pink, oh, I'm sorry, that lighter purple was V04. It says glitter V04. And then this one is glitter V12. I'm blowing on it. Sorry if you can hear that in the mic. I might edit that out. I just don't want to smear anything here. Beautiful. So this is going to end up being kind of a limited color palette. Well, of course, because we're using the Sarah Renee Clark here. But I don't even know if I'm going to use all the colors because we've used black, obviously. And now we're using the pinkies. I guess I've kind of, so I haven't incorporated, the only colors I really haven't incorporated yet is the dark phthalo greens, which I think will end up definitely being in this butterfly. So I think we are going to use all of the palette. I just need to try real hard not to incorporate anything else. Okay, let's let that dry a little bit. While that's still drying, and as soon as it's more dry, I will bring it up so you guys can hopefully see all of the shimmery in the actual pens. But I was thinking, April, I already showed you April's, but I'll show you again, this one. But I was thinking for May, we might do this one and kind of bring the same colors over here so they kind of match. I haven't done that in a really long time, if ever, so that they look like they're meant to be together, right? So yeah, I think that'll be fun. So this will be our May page. Okay, just thought that would be good. Let's see if this is dry or not even close. Okay, well, I'm going to cut this out and let it dry a little bit, and so that I can show you this little butterfly and we'll move on. Okay, we are back, and I did all of the leaves here, 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 and here, and I did do the little patch here by the eyes in the greens as well. And that butterfly is dry, I think, but he still kind of looks patchy, which I'm not real happy with, but he still hasn't ghosted or anything. We are gonna go to, I hope I wasn't quiet that whole time. My mic was kind of far away. Big oof. Anyways, we're gonna do the flowers, this one and this one, in 3 different colors: Wild Berry 0955, Hollywood Pink 0950, and Orchid 0920. We put the greens over there so I can have some room here. And we're going to start at the base of a petal. Oop, and break our pencil, which is standard for me. and do flicking motions with our darkest color here. Oh my goodness. Hold on, I gotta get another pen. I gotta sharpen this and then zoom in a little more. Okay. Oh my gosh, this one, I don't know if it's fickle or if I'm just pushing too hard. I'm trying really hard not to. So I'm gonna do that at the base of the petal with the darkest color, which was the wild berry. And then I'm gonna take the Hollywood pink and go over it and go a little bit further. Like that. And then I'm going to take the orchid and go about halfway down and then go a little bit further. All while flicking. I'm going to go back in with the darkest color, which is the wild berry. So, and just deepen up this base here. A little more flicking. Okay, and then I'm going to take this darkest color still, the wild berry, lightly at the top here of this curled, because each petal has curled. So at the very top, I'm going to take the darkest color here and then move on to Hollywood pink and blend that a little bit. And then the lightest color, which is the orchid. Like that. And just kind of go over the whole thing. Okay. And that is how I'm going to do all the petals on both flowers. Guys, I'm back. It's actually the next day. I'm having to break it up a little bit, but what I ended up doing is I did finish the leaves like I said I was going to, but I also did some more Art paint pen inside the wings here, just here and around the outside edge here, here, and here, and on behind the flowers. I am going to finish this flower real quick off screen in a second, but I wanted to tell you what I did just to eliminate some of the decision making, I guess, for myself on what color all of these backgrounds were going to be. And I thought that the black contrast would be sharp and neat. And I love black, and it's shiny, somewhat shiny. Quite honestly, I mean, it's nowhere close to the Jelly Roll Glaze, obviously, but if you're looking for a black shine, this is very subtle, but you can tell that when you just the regular Art paint pens, right here, acrylic paint pens, you can get like a set of 10 for not very expensive on Amazon, and they're a bullet point pen type. Oops. Dang it. And it's acrylic paint. It's shaking, and then you do have to pump the nib and keep it clean, because just like all the other Arts, but it does have a paint window and everything to see how much you've got left. See that? I don't know if that matters. Anyway, it dries shiny. So, I mean, it does, I guess it's a very poor alternative to our coveted glaze Jelly Roll pens, black paint pen or gel pens. But just FYI, I mean, so I think when all is said and done and all of our glaze pens, because I still have a few that are working, you know. Anyways, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but this I think is what I'll end up, using, unless I find another alternative that's much better, of course, after all my beloved glaze pens are gone. Anyways, I'm going to go off really quickly, finish the petals on this flower, and then we'll get going on the rest of the butterfly. Okay, so there's the flowers. And in the middle, I am going to use, I kept out the gel pens that we used for the little butterfly. Oh no, I smudged them a little bit. Well, make sure that they dry. If you do use these ZS CMs, they do take a lot longer than the other regular glitter gel pens to dry. Just FYI. Again, I am going to apologize for my ratty looking Band-Aid. Apologies. But anyways, so I am going to use these a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit on our butterfly. I might do the scaly looking section on his body in these, but I haven't decided that yet. But what I am going to do right now is take the lighter purple, which is the glitter V04, which is the lighter purple in the stripes and the butterfly wings here, and do the little dots around the center of each of these flowers with it. Oh dear. No, I didn't. For a second I thought I chose the darker purple on accident, but no. This isn't the one. This is still a dark purple, but it's the lighter of the two that I have in front of me. Okay, so doing that, and then I'm gonna get a dark, hopefully similar dark green out of the set as well, and I'm gonna do the center of the flowers in that. Okay, I'm gonna use glitter G11 in the center of the flowers. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, while the center of those little two flowers are drying, I am going to go ahead and use these. I'm going to use the pink, which is the glitter V12, and the lighter purple, which is the V04. And just kind of do every other one or some such thing like that. Now that is a really pretty color. I really like that pink. Okay, now I'm gonna go off camera a little bit, let that dry, and then come back and we're gonna get going with more pencils. Okay. All right, so they're not completely dry, but I'm being impatient. So on these little tiny half circles there, I'm gonna use these three pencils, which are in the Chromaflows, if I can show them. Violet 1100, Aztec Purple 1010, and Lilac 1000. Okay, and I'm going to take the darkest, which is violet, and I'm going to do both ends here and fade it up like so. Then I'm going to take the lilac and fill it in, blend it in more. And then I'm going to take the Aztec purple. That's a lot darker than it looks. Let me grab, I'm going to get the white out of the Chromaflows and see if I can. Okay, this is just white 2400, and I'm gonna just over the center of that Aztec purple, which is the lighter of the 3 purples I have, I'm just gonna put a little bit of white over that just to lighten it up just a smidge in the center there. So it's more of a contrast. It's just a lot darker than the color of the pigment appears in the pencil. And I don't think I have a lighter purple. Well, I have French mauve. Hold on. Sorry, we're kind of experimenting here. Let me look here. No, that does not go. I'm using my scratch piece of paper here. These are really cold purples and cold or cool purples. Yeah, I just don't have a lighter one that's going to match very well. So what I'm doing is what I just did. I'm taking my white and just kind of going over the center of those. And then I am going to take my darkest purple, which is the violet, and redo the bottoms here. Just second layers, you know, third layers, fourth layers, whatever. Next color. Just make them darker here and then fade them into that Aztec purple, and then it's going to be more of a contrast there. And I'm not pushing very hard with the white, by the way. Like that. So I'm going to do the rest of that like that. Just these little bumps, the half circles. Okay, so those are done. Perfect. And now that I've smudged the glitter again, maybe we should not do the glitter pen until last. You know, that runs true on every page, right? But I always get excited about the fun parts, which are the glitter pens. But that's okay. So I just have to be careful. They're mostly dry. There's just tiny little spots where there's pigment that's still kind of sitting on top of the paper that we have to be careful of. I got some on my hand here from the body and smudged it there. I think I can go over it with the pencil, so that's not a problem. Okay, so I am going to go in the middle here of these 5 little shapes with the colors that I did the flowers in, which are Wild Berry 0955, Hollywood Pink 0950, and Orchid 0920. This one's a little bit broken, but it's a little bit crumbly. this one, this pencil, if you can see how much shorter it is. I've had to sharpen it quite a few times. It's breaking on me a little bit. The Chromaflows kind of break fairly easy, like the Prismas. I mean, they're not like the Prismas per se, but sometimes they almost seem a little brittle. And I don't know if that's just my opinion or if I got a set that just is a little more brittle. You know, if it's just my personal experience or not. But I'm going to go sharpen this one again, and we'll get started on these here. So I'm going to go darkest to lightest from the bottom to the top. So let me just start here. See, it already crumbled on me, and I'm literally not pushing very hard. Oh, anyway. Like that, and then next one. And next one. All right, I'm going to go back over all of that with a second coat. Layer, whatever. And there you have it. So I'm going to do that on the inside of all of those. Okay. I am going to take the purple or the pink, which is V12. You don't have to do the same order I do, or even do, I mean, obviously this is your page too. You do what you want to do. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. I'm going to take that and go around the edges here. Okay. Looking good so far. All right, and now we need some of this purple up here, don't we? So let us take our purples, the same purples, obviously, that we used down here. I'm gonna say them out loud again. I've got the white with me still, but Lilac 1000, Violet 1100, and Aztec Purple 1010. Okay, and we are gonna do something up here, purple. So let us do this area, I think the inside of it. So I'm going to use the dark one first, which is Violet. And try not to stick my hand in the glitter because I'm silly, I know. I'm sorry if that drives you guys wild. Don't do it that way. Do as I say, not as I do. I guess that's not really supposed to work on a color along though, right? The premise of a color along is for, you know, you guys to follow along. Of course, you don't, I'm not necessarily, you know, I don't care if you do exactly opposite colors and things, as long as you're having fun, just sitting, chatting, and coloring with me. Yeah, so that really doesn't matter. This is different. I don't know if I should do a different color for right here. I'm going to leave that blank for now, this section right here with the dots all the way along the line here. And I'm just going to do the inside of these right now. Again, we're just from dark to light fading the colors, blending them together. About the gel sticks, the KingArt gel sticks, you guys, that I've noticed is that you can color over that as well with pencil. So just FYI there. Just FYI there. I am going to go in with the white just like I did before down here, just to keep that purple, but also don't let it get darker at the very end so that it's the lightest here. The only downside to that is it does mute the color a tiny bit, not enough to make it clash or anything, but it does mute the color, which is unfortunate. I suppose you could hunt for the perfect lighter, cool purple in a different color pencil set, but I am too lazy to do that. Truth hurts. This works for me. So you do what works for you. I can't get over how dark this Aztec purple is on paper versus the actual pigment of the pencil itself, the way it appears. Yeah, so okay. And then I am going to take the light purple again. I don't know that we'll use the dark purple. We might in here on these little dots inside this thing. Not sure yet. But here's the lighter purple again, the V04. And I am going to go in like this. And you guys might not want to use this much glitter on your butterflies, but I always go pretty glittery and metallic-y and such on my butterflies. Whenever I color a butterfly, generally, I put as much sparkle and shine as I can on it without doing it full on, or doing it full on with this little one. But you know what I mean. It just makes me happy. Okay, so I'm going to finish off this one with the pencil and then do the same thing with this little curly Q as I did with that one. Okay, we're going to be going back and forth from the top section to the bottom section with the different color combinations so that I can try to keep it balanced on how much like each section has now. A pink section, or sorry, a purple section here, purple section here. We have green here, both of the flowers. So right now we're balanced, except so now we need to go back to the pink combination down here and do a segment down here that's pink. So they're either going to be, see, this is where it gets a little bit difficult in my brain because this is so much different than this. It's not the same on top and bottom. I want to try to have as much of the colors evenly as possible, but it is going to be a little bit difficult. Since this is such a big pink section, I think it'll have to be, I think I'm doing this whole section here, the pink colors. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do with this now. I am still going to use the pink colors. This darkest pink is the wild berry. It's broken again. Okay, so I was originally going to do this, you know, from darkest to lightest in the center, giving it this illusion in here. But then I thought, God, that's going to make it look so busy. And they're going every which way. So I think what the easiest I'm going to do, and I'm talking about this entire section here. So this part that comes around all the way down to here. Okay, so I'm going to go like I did up here, darkest to lightest, starting from the body and moving out. Just this section. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Awesome. Now I am going to go in on these little doodads here and here with the purple. That's not ideal because this purple and purple, but the sections kind of, they're so different and limiting. I want at least the same shapes to be the same color. It's fine. Actually, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to grab my purples and the white. And what are we going to do here? So I think we'll go. Okay, I'm going to do this big center one here. And then that'll be what I'm going to do for all of them. So I went with the darkest color and the middle color for this section. And then I'm going to start on the top triangle here with the middle section. Just a little bit with the middle section, with the middle color, which is the lilac. And make sure I didn't stick my hand in. Okay, and then use the lighter color up top here. And then obviously incorporate the white at the very top. And then go back and blend it a little more. Through here. And then grabbing the lilac. And then the darkest color, which is the violet. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for those. There is this spot right here that doesn't have, don't know what I'm going to do with that. I might just do a fade of the colors on it, even though it's not the same shape, just because I might draw in the half circle and a dot there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab a, ooh, well, it won't go through the paper. You know what? I am going to just make that black with the Tule Art paint pen because I'm worried about using a fine liner and having it go through onto the other side. I don't want that to happen. So I think that's just supposed to be black, like this part. Okay. That makes me happy. I'm glad I decided to do that. Also, after we're all done with pencil work and everything, I am going to go in with a, probably not this one, I need to get a skinnier one. This is the 1mm Lingao. But I am going to go in and do some dot work and things inside the wings. And then also, I might use some of the glitter pins on the dots on the outside here on the background. But we're not far off, guys. We're not far off. Okay, real quick. I did decide to fill in this section that was white with black so that it's cohesive. It looked a little awkward. So there, I'm done with the black. I'm done with the black. Well, I'm done with the black. Okay. All right, so let me finish these real quick. Okay, you guys, I did decide to, since I colored the inside of these, I am going to color the inside of that, even though it's different. I am going to use the purples to do that. That little white strip here. And I'm going to take my dark violet. It's just violet. I just say dark because it's dark on the edges here. And then grab my next color, which is the lilac. And then go over lightly with all of the white left with the Aztec purple, lightly. And then what I'm going to do, using the white is in the center of that, I'm going to burnish a little bit. Not hard, well, kind of, not really. And then go back over with a second layer of the Aztec purple and then blend it into that lighter part with the white, the frosty color. And then keep blending until it looks better. Like that. Okay, and then the only other thing we have here is I'm going to use the lighter purple glitter pen V04 and the pink purple V12. And I'm going to go in these little dots here with the purple. And then with the lighter, the pinky color, I'm going to go on the little sections here. And while that's drying, we're going to go finish all of the swirly bits up here that I started with the purple. Okay? I keep saying zero. Glitter V04. Okay, so now I am going to use the purple, 3 purples, and we're going to do the inside behind the little leaves. And I'm going to do this. Around with the darkest color, just around here like this, not pushing too hard actually. So sorry if you can hear my stomach. I'm hungry. I am hungry for some reason. It's only 10 o'clock. I didn't have breakfast, but I don't generally have a lot of times I skip breakfast. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I do. And just have coffee. Oh, I haven't drank my whole cup of coffee. Maybe that's why my stomach's like, you at least give me coffee in the morning. Lord. Okay, well, let me finish this and then I'm gonna take a little sip of my coffee, guys, because my stomach is just going wow, wow, wow. I hope you can't hear that. I hope you cannot. Okay, so I went around the edges there with the darkest purple, which is the violet, and I'm actually going to go underneath each little leaf with it as well, like just right here. Just a little, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take the middle color, which is the lilac, and I'm going to go in a little bit. On the sides here and in the corners. Yeah, the Chromaflows fight me a little bit on this paper. Not bad, like I'd still use them again, but I think there's probably definitely pencil sets out there that would be easier to use than these on this paper, now that I've used them for quite a bit. Okay, now I'm going to use the Aztec on here. And maybe since I'm not used to the Chromaflows, that maybe I didn't choose the right colors, like more of a contrast, because some of these colors, when you push a little harder, kind of start getting samey a little bit. And I really like that dark to light contrast. That's what makes a lot of aspects of the page beautiful and striking, you know? So that just doesn't look. That's why I incorporated the white earlier, but I can't really use it here. That's fine. That's good enough. Okay, you guys. So I am going to now use the ZSCMs again. I'm going to use the light purple, the V04, and the dark purple, V08, and I'm going to fill in these little dots, okay? And I'll fast forward through some of it, and then some of it I'll just cut out because you don't have to watch me do every single one, because that's really, you know. And then I'm going to grab my white embellishment stuff, and I will speed you through what I do with that. Okay, so I went around all of this randomly with the two purples, and now I'm going to use my 1mm and cover up the rest of the white, or the rest of the black dots with white that I didn't color on. So I will be right back after I do that. All right, friends, I did all of the little dots with glitter pen and white Langau. I'm going to get a skinnier, either a jelly roll or a Langau, or maybe even Signo. I might do my Signo. Let me go grab those. I decided on my Signos. I have two of them. I have the skinnier one, which is a 0.5, I think. Where does it say? I thought it said somewhere on the pin. Stand by. I don't know. It's like a ballpoint pen. It's skinny. And this one's fatter. This is like a 1mm. So I'm going to keep this one. Ooh, this is almost gone. Okay, I'm going to keep this one available because that one tends to run better for me. This one kind of skips sometimes, the skinnier one here. So I'm going to get it going and see if I can have it work for me. Oh yeah. Well, it seems to be working fairly decently, actually. So okay. So I'm just going to go to town here, and you guys will follow along. let's do a little more here. And let me zoom out. Okay, friends. So here we have it. There is our page. I hope you enjoyed. I did. It's sparkly, makes me laugh. No. It's sparkly, makes me happy. Let's take this off so that I don't ruin the other page. Oh, see, it's pulling the paper up, so I'm going to have to get my heat gun and do that, but that's okay. I will do that after I hit stop on the recording. Anyways, if you liked the color on, please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel out a bunch and is free. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.